as much as it will show almost the whole picture. Let's start off with one. Oh. I can already tell that the little white dots may become a problem in the future. I quite like these, I guess you might call them hidden. See, here we are, now we've got the dots. These hidden style colourings, where it doesn't show the outline, but gives you where to colour as you go. It's a bit more surprising then. It leaves for a nicer reveal. Although sometimes having the lines there still doesn't take away from the nice art that is available. Seems we have a nice blue, maybe galaxy themed dragon here. Where else? On this side. 9. There we go. I quite like the blue dragons. One of my favourites. I know you shouldn't have favourites, but one of my favourite statues is my Water and Stokes dragons. The blue colour is really beautiful on it. My fat fingers are going to miss these dots, I know they are. Is that all of them? Yeah. I think we have stars now. Hopefully, I will also be getting a new microphone. Probably I will have it by the time this video comes out. I will probably make a test video with it, just to see how it works, and to see what the ranges are and what sounds good and what doesn't. If you couldn't guess, the microphone I am using is not a proper microphone that a lot of ASMR artists use, and it doesn't necessarily have to be one of the expensive ones like the 3DOs, but I managed to find someone. Actually, quite a few people were selling them second hand, the blue Yetis. That wasn't one. That, although are fairly old at this point, I notice a lot of even bigger ASMR artists still use them. They seem to be quite the staple still. And I'm not looking to necessarily break my back just yet. And I have no problem with buying things like that second hand. I know with electronic stuff, some people can be a bit wary luck I have in life. The most obscure kind. So hopefully, once I get that mic and obviously figure out all of the settings and how it works, then hopefully we will be getting some better audio. I know it hasn't been great, as I said, the microphone I'm using isn't for it, but also because of this, editing is the main saviour for the audio. So that took a while. As you can see from my first videos to now, the audio has been changing because I'm still figuring out what works and what doesn't. And also I found out that the hard way that YouTube's editor is pretty bad, in that in my last video, the Dragopedia, or maybe the one before my last one, the Amphipteers video, there was quite a loud sudden audio glitch about just over 7 minutes in. Sorry, I'm distracted by talking. I don't know what I'm looking for anymore. But there was quite a loud audio glitch. There it is, the star, that I didn't realise was there before. So because it had been a couple hours, it had been uploaded and people had seen it, I thought I could just clip it out in YouTube's editor. But it would not show after it had been processed. It still had the glitch in the video. And after looking it up, I found that apparently these are recurring problems for the editor, because apparently it's just not very good. So I am recording this as it went up, and if it doesn't fix in by the end of today, I will probably have to delete it and re-upload it, which is a shame, but it's not very nice having a loud, sudden pop in your ear when you're trying to relax to ASMR. But I will next time be more mindful of making sure I pay attention to the sound waves and what happens when I upload it. Sorry, I'm looking around and 29 is done. But these are all learning curves. It's interesting because when I was looking up if anybody else had these problems, a lot of the Reddit posts and such came from around 2019. I think the editor came out in 2010, I think it said. So these issues have been prevalent for quite a while, which, not to talk bad about the platform that I am using, but you'd think a platform as big as it is would have solved it by now. But it might also have something to do, is that not one? Sometimes they look greyed out. best time to upload is the analytics don't show when you're a much smaller creator because there is not enough information for it to generate, of course. I'm struggling again with this one. But I seem to have found a sweet spot with maybe early mornings in GMT time, but we shall have to see how that works out later on. I also tried uploading shorts, and the first short would also not upload, but I think that was my error. The short of me making flower tea, because when I changed the aspect ratio in the editor I use and exported it, it saved it not cropped, as in it had portrait crop, but it also kept the black boxes, and it was sort of a nightmare to try and upload on the computer as a short and it not going straight to normal videos. And when I also looked this up, this also seemed to be a problem that is better solved if you upload your shorts on your mobile phone. So I had a bit of a moment trying to sort that out, to download it onto my phone, then upload it to YouTube that way. But I think I'm getting the hang of things. I'm not completely technologically inept, but, you know, we all have to start somewhere. I think the standards for new creators are much higher than they used to be. Of course, there is more information available, and it is a bigger platform than it used to be. But when I first started watching, not to sound like a old grouchy lady, I'm not old, I'm actually very young, but when I first started watching YouTube, cameras were very bad, microphones were very bad. These things take time. As does this drawing or this painting take time for me to find these dots. I apologize for that. My camera only records for a certain amount of time, and I cannot see, as it is above me, when it stops recording. It's interesting because it doesn't make a noise when it stops recording, but after it does stop, it stays on for a couple, maybe a minute or so, and then goes into standby. But when it goes into standby, it makes a noise. But I wish it would make a noise when maybe I will come back to wherever that last dot is. Oh, no, that's green. As I'm moving it around, the colours, especially the paler colours, kind of blur, and they make me think it's grey. I think I will come back to this one. That's is that the one I pressed before? Now I don't know. I bet you're frustrated by this, but maybe it's not as relaxing as I thought it might be to record. Let's go back to that one. But as well as reading, I am hoping to make other types of videos, because I think it's nice to have a variety, not just for those watching, but also for myself. I think, at least, I like to think that I am a fairly creative person. So, I have already jotted down in my notes on my phone different ideas for videos for in the future that I would like to make. Sorry. It's a bit harder than what you'd think to concentrate on talking and finding all these tiny dots. But yes, I think having a variety of things would be nice, as well as reading. But that will probably be my main go-to, is reading the books on mainly the shelf that you see in my reading intros. Okay, I think that will be another come back to. Zoom out a bit. Oh, there we go. This is the problem with galaxy pictures, as pretty as they always are. The numerous amounts of dots can be a bit tricky. If you have ever done any, not necessarily colouring like this, but have done any digital painting or traditional art, whether it be pencil work or painting, like I do, I oil paint. I don't think I have done any galaxies oil painting though. Usually, I try to landscapes of the area that I live in, which is mostly fields. So it might sound talented, I guess is the word that I'm thinking of, but realistically, it is just a lot of green and blue for the sky. is or used to be my favourite colour, but it is typically the one that I will pick out if only one option is given. I'm not really a favourites person, like favourite foods or drinks or anything. It's constantly changing, I feel like, depending on the time of day or even the time of year. I've never understood when someone has a favourite food or something, and that's something that they will always pick when given the option when asked. But each to their own, I suppose. These dots will be the death of me. Maybe it's because I'm not zoomed in. Oh goodness me, look at all the numbers pop up. We will come back to those afterwards. These paint by numbers always remind me of they are paint by numbers like this, but with the lines usually shown. The physical versions that where the black line work was like a felt material. I don't know if they are as big anymore, but they were when I was younger, and I don't know why, but I specifically remember having them or getting them when we went on holidays to the seaside. Perhaps it has something to do with the little gift shops and such that were about, and along with those you would get the temporary tattoos, which I think, as the years have gone by, have got quite more detailed and extravagant, but when I was a kid, they were very obvious, let's say. I wonder if there is any relation to people that used to children that used to get temporary tattoos when they were usually in holiday places. If there's any relation to that, to people that get tattoos as adults, I think that would be an interesting correlation, albeit sort of a useless study in terms of using up resources and whatnot, but it would make sense to me. Oh, there we go. Is that? No, that's white. That's another one we'll come back to. Unfortunately, the sounds are not as good, I guess, as some others that use iPads or screens, because this is a just a random tablet that doesn't really have any extravagant features like the iPads do. So the one who I'm thinking of, I think her name is ASMR Galaxy. I like her clicky sounds. She has a big iPad with a pen, and that makes some very nice sounds. But unfortunately, I'm not really an Apple person. But could probably get a pen that allows a universal pen of some sort that could do something similar. I keep doing the thing where I'm looking around, but I don't have the colour selected. I'm sure that's not infuriating at all. It's because I'm too busy yapping away instead of concentrating on my work, which, to be honest, is quite rare for me. I'm not a very big talker, at least not I almost said not in real life, but it's not real life. Not out and about, not even just in public, but at home. I'm not a big talker, and when I used to make content, I would get a very sore throat from talking, even maybe just for an hour straight, because I talk so little outside of it. The sudden, I guess, movement and vibrations of talking non-stop for so long, well, not even so long, just about an hour, was enough to start to make my throat sore. And I'm also not the best speaker, so I do apologise. I like to think I'm a little better now, especially making videos that are not live. Live talking is a lot more difficult, there is a lot more pressure. But with videos, it can all just be edited away. I think this format suits me much better. I apologise again for the swapping. I managed to catch it early. I think we are making some kind of palace in the sky. Oh, it's a yellow. Oops. I'll come back to those. There we go. We have these massive spires with flags on the top, designs and small details that you see throughout them. I think modern designs are cool in their own right and have their place in the world. But sometimes I think it's a little overdone. And maybe back then they thought the same about what they would consider modern. And in a few years maybe it will change, do something else. And those that like modern now will perhaps also be sick of it. That is how change works over time. And there is nothing wrong with that. People change, as do the times. I think some people are very afraid of change. But change is inevitable, no matter where you are or who you are. And I think we should embrace change instead of being afraid of it. That is simply how I view things. And not everyone will agree with that. Or they might agree with it, and that is okay too. I did not mean to go on such a sidetrack. I am sort of just rambling. As I paint this, I will write in a sense that they are like cliff peaks. I feel like this will be my sort of excuse to talk about things that I don't talk about with anyone, to be honest, as I am quite introverted, so this is perhaps a bit much for just a simple ASMR video. So forgive me if I go on a bit of a sidetracked thought. But I don't know, some people like ramble ASMRs, so maybe this is for you. If so, well, this is the right video. It's all about perspective, I suppose. Forgive me as well for my plosives. I have been trying to be more aware of them. Trying and to be softer with them. Even though I am using pop filters. But again, because of the mic and my... Oh, there's an ice cream fan. Every time I hear that fan, it's so weird. It's such a distorted sounding jingle, like you would hear in a creepy horror movie. But I forgot what I was saying. plosives. Yes, I have pop filter for plosives, but because of the mic and my lack of knowledge in editing audio, it is not very good. But hopefully soon, with the new mic and a better understanding of how it all works, it will slowly get better. Also, forgive any background noise you may hear during any of my videos. I live in a house with other people, and, well, it is a bungalow. It is a one-story building. So my bedroom, where I record, is also linked to the hallway and to all the other rooms. So you can hear when people, I try to edit it out, but you can hear when people open and close doors. Some people like to slam them. So I try to cut that or lessen it afterwards. But not everything can always go well for us. Right, let's try find these little dots that are hidden. Goodness, this is going to be a nightmare. Let's do it like this, shall we? There we go. That makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? 49. There we are. It all seems so obvious afterwards. Suddenly you see them everywhere. Goodness, look how many I missed. Look at all these. Gosh. And this one. I think because these were on a white background before. Even that one. Oh, never mind. 46. We have one more. One more. Where are you? There we go. And there we are. I like the little time lapse it does. Let's see if I can bring it closer. There we are, all done. It's a very beautiful painting. So, thank you for stopping by today and listening to my rambles as we paint this picture. Thank you so much, and wherever you are, I hope you have a good day.